Hey guys, so welcome to your energy forecast. We're gonna check what sort of energies the collective is dealing with. Let's see what energies the collective is dealing with. Okay. Okay. All right. And we do have the Five of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. Okay. Let's get the clarifiers before I start diving in. Yep. And the Knight of Cups on the bottom of the deck. All right. So, in usual fashion, I would say, right? We do have the mirroring cards. And it is the Justice card, which is an interesting card to get. Precisely because we do have the Karma card or the Judgment card in this deck. Okay. So this is a very interesting wave of energy, not to mention change, right? So, sorry, still a little bit of coughing. Okay. So we do have, interestingly enough for me, there's still an energy here of releasing. Now, for some of the collective, we do have marriages which have ended or are ending. Because Justice, right, speaks about official contracts, connections, and also karma. Okay, so we have contracts here. In some cases, we are still dealing with separating energies from previous connections. You would see them as third-party connections in the sense that these would be connections that you or your twin have had with someone else. Okay. To me, third-party kind of refers to a current type of situation. Now, what we are dealing with here is the wrapping up of third-party connections, wrapping up previous connections, relationships, marriages, and for many of the ones in the collective I'm tapping into right now, these connections have ended. If they have not ended yet, then these are highly dysfunctional, highly unsatisfying connections, because it's a heavy energy of feeling alone. So if I'm not tapping into the energy of someone who is actually single, then it is the energy of someone who feels very alone, very separated, very disconnected. For some of you, that's as a result of being involved in third-party situations. For some of you, sorry, it's the energy of still having to do some healing, still having to do some getting over something quite major. So this would be the energy of someone getting back on their feet after a serious breakup, a serious fight, a serious event. It could be something major, so the sale or the loss or of something which would involve contracts, right? It could be rentals, acquisitions of anything, buying cars, apartments, houses, what have you, kind of expensive appliances. It could be partitions of goods as a result of divorces, dealing with that. It could be child support in some cases. So we have contract-related issues which are being right now settled. Custody of kids as well. So topics and circumstances and situations which are now getting cleared up. So even if this might feel like a heavy energy because it's the energy of still dealing with some complications, some issues, some arguments, in some cases, there's still a little bit of a hostile attitude, I would say, in those separations, in those fights, in those breakups. Now, in some cases, this is the energy of making contact with your twin. In some cases, because we do have Justice and Ace of Wands, right? So the fiery energy of twins and soul contracts. In other cases, this might be the energy of a former partner reaching out, a former partner from outside of your twin flame relationship. Now, there is an energy here of someone being conflicted. Some of you are having issues with releasing previous connections you were involved with, and I am seeing particularly issues with partners with whom you had kids, or with whom you are pregnant, or whom you got pregnant, or with whom you had planned or had a family. Now, there is a little bit of a conflicting emotional energy here. There's someone who might have second thoughts about it. There's someone who is dealing with kind of unexpected consequences of dealing with sharing custody, for instance. There's a little bit of an emotional shock going on here. For some of you, the separations which you went through got more tense than you were expecting or than you might have imagined. There's an energy here of being disappointed. So someone you dealt with, someone you were connected to, sorry, became, I would say, maybe even vindictive. Okay, so there's a low vibe energy I'm feeling here. And it comes as a shock to you. It's upsetting. It's disturbing in some cases. It could also be the energy of even twin flame relationships in which you have a sudden realization, or your partner, your twin, suddenly shares with you some very heavy inner child issue, some very heavy shadow issue related to their childhood or to their children. So there's an energy here of heavy frequencies which you are dealing with, which you are grappling with, which you are slowly overcoming. So we have positive growth, we have overcoming, we have outgrowing, and sort of growing beyond those lower vibe energies. But there's still that energy of something emerging, something coming your way, or something re-emerging, which you weren't expecting, and which is does give you a sense of disappointment. For some of you, it could be the energy. I'm not gonna beat around the bush about it, right? It could be the energy of your actual twin having those kinds of childhood issues which make them very reluctant to commit. So this is a point when you have amazing passion, you have amazing connection, you feel sexually things are very much in tune, okay? But there's an emotional blockage here which prevents one or even both twins from committing to a deeper level. Now, we are going to see in the extended exactly how these energies play out for the feminine and the masculine, and we're going to make more sense of that as we go. But to me, this feels like the energy of things coming to the surface, and we have had a lot of that energy coming in recently, right? So these are issues which come to the surface, and the fact that they come to the surface, of course, means that you get the chance to work on them and to heal them, okay? So it might be disappointing or annoying when it happens, because, of course, we don't want yet another issue to deal with, right? But of course, these energies coming to the surface are actually helping you to rebuild your connection on a firmer basis. Even if it's an unpleasant revelation or it's an unpleasant moment when those issues come to the surface, when those behaviors come to the surface, when those situations come up for you, of course it's unpleasant because it's yet another kind of hurdle, right, to overcome. But by this point you are very in tune with your flame nature, and you are very much able to overcome anything. So you are going to have to focus on your heart chakra here and ask your guardian angels and archangels for support and guidance. Ask your spiritual team, your higher self, your twin's higher self for support and guidance, because you do have divine intervention here coming, right? So you do have divine intervention, we do have the lightening, and you do have the protection of the angelic realm specifically, right? So this is powerful heart chakra healing. Even if it's unpleasant as it happens, even if the circumstances in which those issues come up are unpleasant in the moment, you have to remind yourself that you are an amazingly wise and amazingly resilient soul. That's the very nature of your soul. That's the very nature of who you are. So there's no sort of an obstacle, there's no sort of a challenge which you cannot overcome and gracefully and grow from it. So even if you run into a momentary obstacle or challenge, just keep focused on the fact that you are so ready to overcome that, whatever that obstacle is. Whatever displeasure comes your way in your 3D life, remember that you are much bigger than that. You are much stronger, you are much wiser, and you have infinite resources, literally infinite resources, lifetimes of wisdom and strength and experience and bravery, and you are going to overcome whatever challenge comes up right now. This is not as much as a test as it is sort of a confirmation of your strength. This is yet another opportunity for you and your twin to reaffirm the strength of your souls and of your connection, of your bond, because these challenges, when they come up and they test your connection, they test your interaction, they test your relationship, they are an opportunity for both of you to prove to yourselves and to each other that your bond is truly unbreakable, and it is truly unbreakable, literally indestructible. Okay, so whenever this comes up, just remind yourself of the fact that you are two amazing souls, two amazing beings right now in the 3D, which are made of the same stuff, of the same energy, and that is an unbreakable and indestructible connection that you share. These obstacles are just a speck of dust, okay, in the grander scheme of things, in the grander scheme of your connection with your twin flame. These obstacles are simply a speck of dust. All right? Now, I hope you will join me in the extended, so we'll see how these energies play out for the feminine and the masculine. If not, I'm sending you the highest vibes of unconditional love and support, and we'll be seeing you soon, okay? Bye.